welcome to the Daily Faith Builder. Hope you've had a good week. All week long, we've been in Ezekiel 37, just kind of taking different aspects of this wonderful prophecy about that God gave to Ezekiel, the valley of dry bones. And looking at this idea of kairos moments, where God, just like he did with Ezekiel, stepped into his day and brought this divine moment, this kairos moment of giving him a word to give to God's people. And we should live with that expectancy to have those same kind of encounters, right, with God. But let me just begin. This is election week, and has been election week. And I just want to ask you again this big question that we all, I think, should be resting in right now is, have we been prepared? Did we prepare ourselves for our candidate to lose? Are we prepared for our candidate to lose? And I think it's a really big question to hold on to, because we need to really center ourselves, especially in moving forward, to honor whoever is in that office, that to honor whether we dislike them or didn't support them. We need to honor the office and the person and pray for the person. Are we ready to do that? Are we ready to and have a foundation of our hope, not being in who the president is or even who what's in the Senate or the House, is that our hope is grounded in Jesus and what he's done for us and the kingdom that he's going to be bringing and the life that he has promised for us. And boy, I think more than ever, we have to really encourage ourselves with that issue and stay rooted right in that issue. And so let me just give you this thing we talked about on Sunday, this little statement I think will help us do that in the days and weeks ahead as we try to engage in healthy conversation with others that might just really be a mess because of whatever the results are that didn't come out the way they want to. But here it is. First of all, policy over politics, and then people over policy. Remember, we talked about not voting with emotion, watching our emotion in this thing. Is it rooted in biblical hope and in the truth, or is it really just over emotion in certain political commitments? So we need to really focus our conversation and our thought on policy over politics, and making sure that we have a biblical grid that is forming our convictions about policy. But the next part of this is that people over policy. Let's make sure in our conversations with people of finding what they believe, what they're, why they believe a certain way politically, or even better, get deeper into that. What's formed their politics? What is their religious faith, belief, commitment? If they're a believer, do they have scripture that is forming their belief and behind that? And I think so many times we can get into a political discussion, and why so many people say we shouldn't talk about politics or religion is because we get all wrapped up in the politics and not focus on good discussion on the policy. But even when we get real adamant about the policy, is that we forget that God has called us to put a value on the person more than all of that. That our point in engaging them in conversation is to really listen well and to have a kairos moment, that God would enter into this moment and would bring an encouragement, blessing, and hopefully point that person above, that they would transcend politics and policy and meet the living God and have their heart radically changed. Again, we've said it before, nothing's really changed. You cannot legislate lasting eternal change that comes by a move of God, a revival, right, of the human spirit of what God is going to do. So hope that will encourage you and be useful during these wild times. We need to be praying, obviously, for our leaders, for our nation, and for one another, and be that salt and light, be that healing, be that calm, peaceful, but very purposeful and bold, right, message right into our community. Another thing we should encourage each other to do during these times, just like Ezekiel and the prophets of old, is take some time and walk around your business, walk around your neighborhood, walk around your city, is to prayer walk, is to walk with God and just cry out to God to move and to bring revival to his church and to his people, and let that overflow to be salt and light in our communities. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.